Welcome to Offensive, where the show is just as good a quality as Week 5 of the NFL season. Absolutely fantastic. Our favorite weekend.
Are not good. Yeah, it's a blowout, guys. It's a blowout. What a weekend. What a weekend.
We're going to talk about some of the games. Do we want to? Maybe not, but we will.
Yeah.
The witching hour was a beautiful thing. Teams that had no business being in the game.
Yeah.
We saw massive chokes. It was a very,
exciting,
very ugly.
It was
exciting. It was exciting. The red zone, they nailed that concept with the witching hour. If you were close, if you were in a game, you had a shot at the end, just like the Pats did. We can get into all of that, but it was ugly fun. I'll take ugly fun.
It was a good weekend for Pepto-Bismol stock, man, or you have no idea what's going to happen. Like your team's probably going to screw it up at some point.
Yeah. I mean, if you like, it's so crazy how many teams that like should be good were not good this weekend, right? And it just the NFL balances itself out one way or the other. There was a lot of ugly games. And there's a couple teams that are they're done. Like they're already done. It's embarrassingly bad how bad they are. One of them, unfortunately, is the Browns, who beat the Packers, but like they're 100% cooked. Like they've won one game, and I don't know if the Browns are going to win another game for the next 3 to 4 months. I don't know that they are. Like their defense is okay, but it hasn't looked great, if I'm being honest, even against like Carson Wentz and the Browns.
Their D-line still graded really high, but
yeah, but they can't do much of anything. Well, Dylan Gabriel, he looked okay.
This is like the Bears. This is like the Bears back when we had Kyle Orton and Rex Grossman, where the defense would be amazing, but they'd be gassed by the second half because the offense would only do 3 and outs.
Doesn't do anything.
Just wasting amazing talent, but
yeah. Dude, and speaking of defenses, like Aaron Glenn, do you know you have a defense? Because they're not playing football.
Is he going to be one and done? It doesn't happen that often, but
dude, the thing is, them being 0-5 is not as bad as them losing and giving up basically 30-some points a game. Like their defense is.
I decided that's my dumb thing is just hiring Aaron Glenn for your coach. He found a way to make the Jets worse.
I mean, they're allowing the same amount of points per game the Lions did last year. Do you know what I mean? And the Lions had everybody injured. The Jets don't have a bunch of injuries. I mean, they got some, but they're not getting to the quarterback. They can't cover anybody. They can't stop the run. Like their defense is just straight awful. It's terrible to watch. Almost as bad as watching the Ravens defense, which, dude, I think the Ravens are done, man. Lamar's out for probably 2 more games. And they're probably going to lose these next 2 games. I don't know if they can come back now. I thought they would at least make it a game, but they got absolutely boat raced by the Texans, whose offense has not looked good all year, by the way. And
they've been good.
The Texans' offense was amazing.
Dude, they scored 40 points like it was nothing. I mean, the Ravens are done. I think this might be Harbaugh's last year in Baltimore because I don't think they're making the playoffs now.
Well, do you think, though, when they have a lot of guys injured, do you think when all these guys are healthy, they make a run and they at least get like second place and make it squeak in the playoffs maybe?
They will definitely figure out their defense before they play the Packers. I can tell you that right now.
Exactly.
I can tell you that right now. Their defense will be great by the time they play the Packers. But
let's just look at their schedule upcoming. They have the Rams, so that should be a loss.
That's definitely a loss.
And then the Bears, 50-50 at this point. I want to be an optimist, but I'll give the Ravens the benefit of the doubt and say maybe it's a 50-50. But then they get Dolphins, Vikings with the questionable quarterback play, Browns, Jets, Bengals, Steelers, Bengals. So right there, that's a whole lot of soft in there. That division makes it that division gives them a chance. So I don't believe in Aaron Rodgers. You'd like to give Tomlin the benefit of the doubt and say, even with Aaron Rodgers, Tomlin can take 1 of 2 against Baltimore.
Right.
But last year, Baltimore just ran all over the Steelers defense. It was uncharacteristic. They got like 200 rushing yards a game. So the Ravens can get some guys back by the second half of the season, and they can still win the division maybe. And I don't know. They had a real rough first month. Everything else is going to be a lot easier.
I can tell you right now what the crux of their season is, Dave. If they lose to the Bears, like they have 0 chance. They have 0 chance because that's going to be the last game before Lamar comes back.
I feel like they will lose to the Bears.
And then they'll be 1-6, which means they basically have to go 10-0 to win their division. Because I think the Steelers are going to win 10 games, likely, right? Maybe 11.
Yeah.
or they'll probably have to win 10 in a row to make the playoffs in the AFC. That'd be my guess. And I just don't think it's not feasible, dude. It's just not feasible. Even with a cupcake schedule, I don't think it's feasible. So, dude, I thought they would at least show up and make it a close game. I mean, they got annihilated in that game at home too, at home. So, how's Jair working out for you guys? Is he covering everybody on that defense? Yeah. So, and I'm not talking smack. Like, I feel bad for you guys for signing Jair because, yeah, he's absolutely.
I mean, love Jair to death, but like we knew how bad injured he was and how whatever.
Yeah.
Like we would have kept him on the roster just because if there's no better option, right? But when they got rid of him, we all kind of want to keep him because like we know how good he can be.
Yeah.
But also we would not have probably gotten Micah Parsons if we kept him because we'd have all that extra salary.
Yep. So it was worth it. Bye, Jair. And dude, best of luck. Like Baltimore is one of the few AFC teams that I don't hate. Like I actually don't mind Baltimore, but
they're fun to watch.
Yeah, I mean, I just want them, them and the Bills. I just want them to beat Kansas City, and the Bills defense doesn't look good either. I mean, the Patriots kind of tore them up a little bit yesterday. They had a bunch of turnovers. They had a stinker. The Bills weren't going to go 17-0, right? The Bills had a stinker. So, I mean, I think the Bills are still really good, but I mean, the Chargers had another stinker. They got raced by Washington. So, everyone's just making sure to fall apart so the Chiefs can get that 1 seed.
Did you hear about Hampton?
Did he get hurt too? He's
hurt. He's on the IR now.
Oh man.
So he's going to be out for the next 4 weeks. So them and the Ravens, everything looked fantastic for the Chargers. They were 3-0.
Yeah.
Their offense was clicking. Herbert was looking at MVP. Now he's running for his life, but at least he could rely on his halfback. And now they're down to their number 3 and number 4 running back. So
I mean, losing a left tackle is pretty detrimental to an offense. People don't realize it's a big deal, losing your left tackle. Now, luckily, the Chargers had a right tackle that could play there. He went 1 game, and then now he's hurt too. So, their whole offensive line is a mess. And their defense, which was kind of their strength, kind of didn't play bad against the Giants, but didn't play great either. And the offense isn't doing them any favors with those turnovers. So, I mean, the Chargers look kind of like they did last year. So, I mean, and then the Eagles go and lose to the Broncos, and now the Broncos are full of themselves when the Eagles basically shot themselves in the foot 4 or 5 times. I mean, to be fair, the Broncos made some good plays in that game, but I think the Eagles beat themselves more than anything else in that game. They kind of had a stinker. That was coming too, because the Eagles have been playing way too many close games. And
I'd say every game that the Eagles have played is a stinker.
Comment.
Yeah. No, the Eagles.
We'll let Hype talk about them later on.
Okay, fair enough. Well, okay, just do it now. Hype, what do you think about the Eagles?
The Eagles got exposed. If you can play decent pass defense and just have an athletic defensive line to just spy Jalen Hurts, and their defensive line is supposedly good, but if you watch the game, what they did was they just kind of they didn't blitz him too much, right? Or when they did that one blitz with the DB, he didn't see it. So you just drop guys, get his guys covered, because Jalen Hurts is not Peyton Manning. He's a decent quarterback, but he's more of kind of an athletic threat, right? He has amazing wide receivers, but why can't he get the ball down the field, right? So the Broncos defensive backs are pretty dang good. They weren't doing so great this year, but they played a good game. And if you watch, the Broncos got all these coverage sacks, just left and right coverage sacks all day long. You got to give them credit for doing that. The defensive line did good, but they weren't light years, player of the year level. They just did their job really well and spied them, make sure to not let them escape the pocket. And Jalen Hurts just literally held onto the ball and just walked into Broncos players the whole game.
Dude, I was going to say the Broncos had a bunch of they just slowly collapsed.
Just slow,
Sacks. Jalen's looking, he's looking, and then there's no run lanes. That's really disciplined.
And he did try to run, and they would get him because they were on him for that.
I mean, I think that shows really good discipline on Denver's defensive line, though. Like you said, Nick Bonito had some plays, though.
It's just that they weren't winning early and getting to him quick.
Right.
He would hold on the ball forever.
Slowly pushing it. Yeah. No, there was 2 sacks where Jalen Hurts just was okay, I'm going to run. And then there's just 2 guys there to catch him, basically. Right. So, the Denver's defense is good. We all know Denver's defense is good. And their offense has been kind of the problem this year, but their offense did enough. And the Eagles, like I said, shot themselves in the foot with a couple
I
penalties.
think the Eagles are very beatable if you can do that. They kind of shut down Saquon. He hasn't done a whole lot recently. The thing about like when we saw the Packers play badly recently, when you play too hard and overextend and be like, oh, we got to go at full speed, like teams will, if that can counter that and find your weaknesses, right? But if you just play sound football and you're able to rush 4 or 5 and just be smart, like you can beat the Eagles.
Yeah. No, they're definitely beatable. So, all right. So the Eagles had a stinker. The Bills had a stinker. The Jets are a stinker. Let's talk about that for a second, because the Cowboys absolutely trounced them. And like I said in our video, when they beat the Packers, their offense is very good, but their defense is just bad. And, the Jets still put up some points after the Cowboys had scored 35. You know what I mean? I mean, that game wasn't even close. The Jets defense looks like the worst defense in the NFL. And that's saying a lot, considering how much the Ravens are trying to take that mantle from them. But I don't know what Aaron Glenn is doing in there. I don't know what Aaron Glenn's plan is for the Jets defense, but it is not a good plan. It is not a good plan. And their defense has not looked good since Saleh left. Like, I will just say that right now. The Jets defense has not been the same since Robert Saleh left. And look what the Niners defense is doing with young guys. You know what I mean? With new guys on the team. Like, dude, Robert Saleh, like, the Jets made a huge mistake.
He's a really good defensive coach.
I think they made a huge mistake. I just got to be honest with you. But, they picked Aaron Rodgers, and that is what it is. So I think Aaron Glenn might be one and done. I mean, dude, do you guys think the Jets are going to win 2 games? Like, just right now.
I think Aaron Glenn is the worst coach in the NFL, Major League Baseball, any sport. He's just the worst. He is so bad. Like, literally, the first couple of games when you see him on the sideline celebrating anything that goes well with, like, dance moves, I'm like, are you a joke? You're the Jets.
I like the
dance. Try to win a game first. Like, you know what I mean? Well, who's going to respect this guy? I'm like, there's no way he's got the team and team discipline. There's no way in any possible way that they respect him.
I mean, maybe. I just think it's bad strategy. I just watch the Jets defense and, like, the guys on their team that are talented aren't playing well. Do you know what I mean? Like, I bring that down to strategy, but more than discipline. Like, I don't know what their defense is doing now. And they're like, they're not getting pass rush. And they have some injuries, but not really that many. Do you know what I mean? So I think the Jets are 100% done. Congrats to the Cowboys. I mean, dude, the Cowboys could be a playoff team. They could be one of those exciting playoff teams that wins 35-30 every week. Like the Bengals last year that didn't quite make it. So, all right, Dave. I'm going to say
they're up 30-3 yesterday before they took their foot off the gas.
So good. Do you know they almost look as good as another team that I'm going to do it now, Dave? The Colts are legit because when you're a good team and you play a bad team, you beat them by 4 scores, and that's the Colts absolutely decimated the Raiders. Like, the Raiders look like a Pee-wee League team against the Colts.
Like, got those interceptions. They played discipline, took advantage of opportunities. The Colts look like they were playing in the playoffs.
I mean, the Colts were running over them too. And so congrats to the Colts. Like, they honestly, we were talking about it before the show. The Colts are one of the few teams that have looked good in every single game that they've played this year. And I can't name more than maybe one other team or 2 other teams that have looked good in every single game that they've played. And congrats to the Colts, because that's what good teams do, is they demolish terrible teams. Pay attention, Matt LaFleur. But good job.
They failed to score. Let's see, their loss. They only scored 20 points. Otherwise, they're putting up 29 points, 33 points, 41, 40. This is their second game of getting 40 points.
Yeah.
This is a fun, balanced offense. They know they can rely on Taylor. He got 3 touchdowns. He didn't get a lot of yards, but, he didn't need to get a lot of yards.
Right.
It's just an explosive offense. It's a well-balanced, it's a well-schemed offense. Their defense is handling the call. Yeah, it's a good division, and happy to hear that you're finally a football fan and not just a Packer fan.
No, I'm on board now. I'm on board because it's been long enough. Trevor Lawrence is trying to lose the game. It's been long enough to where, like, that's kind of what I wanted to see from them, is like not play a close game every week, but like actually beat the crap out of a team that deserves it. And the Raiders absolutely deserve it. And I will get into that later in the show. But, okay, who wants to talk about Big Show against the Seahawks? Because that was an awesome game. That was
my God.
Awesome.
You had 9 touchdowns in that game, and he only had 10 incompletions.
That's awesome.
And the stat that they kept showing all over the place is it's the only game, first game in NFL history where both quarterbacks throw for over 80% completion percentage and something like 320 yards apiece.
Wow.
And I actually think Darnold threw for 340 and Baker threw for more than that.
Yeah, I think Baker had like 360, and then Darnold had 4 touchdowns in that game too. So, yeah, I mean, dude, this is going to be the Buccaneers every week, man. Like their defense still needs some help.
Baker at 379.
Yeah, 379. That's crazy.
And what's really ridiculous is with until the last drive of the first half for the Seahawks, Tampa Bay was up 13-0. So with 7 seconds left, the Seahawks hadn't scored. And then JSN caught his touchdown with 6 seconds left. I know it's a minute detail, but so it was only 13-7 at half. And that final score, you never would have guessed it. You know, it was all in the second half, couldn't be stopped on offense. And it's great to see 2 quarterbacks who both, it was the same draft class, 2018. They both wound up in Carolina at the same time.
Right.
That's funny.
Right. And now they both have Ohio State wide receivers. And so the next question is who's going to have the better career now? Is it going to be JSN or is it going to be Emeka Egbuka? Because they both have they both have pretty decent quarterbacks.
Yeah.
They both are kind of similar players. It's interesting.
It's kind of like the Spider-Man meme or something. It's like they're like the same guy.
No, dude. Yeah. Ohio State is just a factory, man. Like they just put out 1 a year and they're good. Do you know what I mean? And JSN is like the slowest of the bunch, but like the word on the street was when JSN was like in the wide receiver room, like he was the most like overall talented at all the skills, but he wasn't like the best at any of them, if that makes sense.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? Like he was like B+ Superman. And
same thing with Egbuka.
Yeah, a little bit.
They're talking about the young guy, and he was always the number 2 in the years. You know, every single year he's the number 2, and then he comes to the NFL, and it's just like, okay, he got drafted to be the number wide receiver 3 on his team, and holy crap.
Yeah. Well, JSN started slow last year, and then he I think they got rid of Metcalf because JSN is so good, and they're like, yeah, we don't want to pay Metcalf, we'll pay Sam Darnold. Smart move, Seattle. And JSN takes that role, and then Egbuka can learn from Godwin and everybody else there, so he doesn't have to be the man, which I think is really good for a young receiver, is like let them kind of grow into it. Because I mean, we're even seeing this with Travis Hunter, right? Like they were saying he doesn't know how to run routes, he doesn't know how to do this in the NFL. It's going to take some time. Already in this game, he looks like he's kind of starting to figure some stuff out. They're still force feeding him the ball. And I say go for it. Like if you got a guy that talented, like figure out. The best way for him to figure it out is to play. Like let him play and figure it out. So like
that's what the regular season is for wide receivers and quarterbacks to get on the same page where you can just go to your guy. And you know, when you need a 4th down or a 3rd down conversion, you go to JSN.
Yep.
And Liam Cohen actually had a decent idea in the second quarter of this game where they had the ball within the 10 of the Chiefs, and they moved Hunter. They ran him out in the flats, and then they snuck in Etienne behind him, so that way all the coverage would be sucked in by Hunter. And then they tried to dump it to Etienne. It almost worked. It got him down to the 2, but it's nice to see that. Okay, we're going to use him as a distraction now, but that's going to set him up for later on in the game. They can run the same play and hopefully get Travis Hunter open.
Yep.
So it's
Cohen is definitely really good at scheming up offense. I mean, he did so good in Tampa Bay. I think the Jags offense is going to only get better. I think it's only going to get better. But Trevor Lawrence is still going to be average. He's just average. Like he's been in the league long enough to where like I don't know if he has that like superstar quarterback feel to him. Do you know what I mean? Like he almost makes too many mistakes, like that pick he just threw. So, but I mean, he's good enough. I think he's good enough to be a good quarterback on a great team. They just got to keep surrounding him with talent. And so far, so good.
And he's made a couple of good plays too, where he just tucks the ball and he runs.
Yeah.
You're big, you're still youngish enough, so that way you can still be athletic and make those plays. It helps.
He's always been a pretty decent runner, honestly.
He did great at Clemson. He's 6'6", but athletic.
Yep. No, I'm actually pretty impressed with the way this offense looks already. I mean, they've revitalized Etienne's career because I thought he was done after last year. I mean, Tank Bigsby was taking most of his carries. Tank Bigsby had the majority of the carries. Cohen comes in. He's like, okay, we're shipping off Bigsby. We want this guy instead because this is what I need for my offense. And Etienne has been fantastic this year. He's been absolutely fantastic. So, yeah, lots of fun surprises in this week of NFL Week 5. Nobody knows what the hell's going to happen next.
No.
I mean, dude, the Saints beating the Giants isn't that big of a deal, but like, you know, the Giants just beat the Chargers. Now the Chargers lost to the Commanders, so the Saints are going to go whip the Commanders.
The Giants looked amazing, and this week they looked like total trash. Like,
well, the Giants actually played okay in that game. I didn't watch the whole thing, but like they were moving the ball on the Saints because the Saints aren't great, but they just kept having turnovers or bad
like
plays.
bad, stupid plays.
Yeah, and then the Saints had a return touchdown, which, you know, that always is tough to come back from. So, but, you know, overall, I think the Giants are going to be better, but I still think Dable's done. I don't think Dable's making it through the season.
Well, Jackson Dart just he needs to really like tighten up. He can't play crazy loose and like do crazy plays if he's not going to protect the ball.
Yeah.
Well, he only threw for like 110 yards a week before. That's what everyone asked.
Yeah.
He can run, he can scramble, but
he's going to take some time.
Well, he made big plays though the 2 weeks ago. You know what I mean? Like he made big time crunch plays that were amazing. So that's what
he also had a number 1 wide receiver 2 weeks ago as well.
True. And he threw 2 touchdowns in the game. No, Jackson Dart has looked better than I thought, but dude, without Neighbors, he's going to have some rough games, guys. Like he just is.
Right. He just had a really bad game though.
Yeah.
I mean, he was just like letting the ball loose. He's running by guys, just holding the ball out. Like it was just,
who's going to look like as his ceiling? Daniel Jones.
Oh,
the New York Giants. Daniel.
At least say like bad Eli Manning or something. Old Miss.
No. But he has Dable calling the plays. So Dable's going to be his ceiling for his development, unfortunately.
Which is not high. But Dable will be gone
because they're both mobile quarterbacks.
Dable will be gone.
Have a number 1 wide receiver.
I'll hire Robert Saleh. It'll all work out. So all right. Let's move on to the next area. We're going to do one smart and one dumb. One smart thing, one dumb thing you saw this weekend. Chief, let's start with you. What was something smart that you saw happen? One of the teams or one of the players did this weekend?
It made for extremely boring football game to watch in the first half last night. And it was Drake May. He threw a lot of passes away in the first half when he saw the play wasn't there. And it eliminated any chance for the play to go awry or to kill a drive realistically. And it's one thing that they talked about when they're interviewing Josh Allen during the first half. And they're talking, what was your moment? And he says, well, it was after I threw 3 picks against the Patriots in the first half, and Dable was tearing me a new one. Then I realized, I can't just try to keep pressing. I can't keep trying to make the big play. That's when he had his aha moment. And so he just learned, okay, take the check down, live to fight another play. And Drake May's already there in year 2, it looked like, because it's just live. Don't kill yourself in the game. Don't make a dumb play. Stay close in the second half so that way you give yourself that shot in the fourth quarter. So I thought it was really smart watching Drake May execute. He wasn't making great plays in the first half. Fortunately, he was able to see Doug Smart call a little bit on. But it's smart. It's boring to watch. But, hey, he didn't shoot himself in the ass. And he was able to keep the Pats in the game. Their defense helped too, but I thought that was really smart.
Yeah, I actually like the Patriots game plan. I mean, we know Vrabel's going to turn them into a competitive team, and it already looks like they're starting to figure that out. I mean, the Bills were kind of due for one, let's be honest, because they stole that one from the Ravens. So, I think the Bills kind of gave them the game a little bit too with the turnovers. But, Vrabel's going to keep them in the game, and that's sometimes all you need is a little bit of luck. So, yeah, Patriots definitely look like they're moving in the right direction.
In those inter-division games, you got to let the pressure be on the Bills. They're supposed to win. They're supposed to play perfect. Yep. They're kind of messing up, kind of like having a little bit of a problem, and let them sit in that. You know what I mean? Their defense isn't that great, and that's what you want to do with teams like that. Like play tough, play smart. May force them to have to make amazing plays. Get the pressure on them, and if they can't. And I went to bed because I was really tired last night, and I'm thinking the Bills will probably pull it out. So I woke up kind of shocked, but not super shocked because, one of my smart things, of course, what we'll talk about is Stephon.
Well, dude, same game.
3-run home run by the Brewers also. Churio.
Dang it.
Beautiful. Loving that.
Fireworks time.
Go Cubs. Anyway, so you know what? Let's do something different. Let's just do smart things first. Since we're talking about the Bills game, Doug, What's your smart thing? Tell me about it.
Yeah, so Stephon Diggs, obviously he's a controversial guy. He went to the Texans, did kind of okay. Then he got injured. He goes to the freaking Pats, and that seems like a bad mix of like oil and water, right? He gets like that whole like scandal on the boat. He's got like all these girlfriends getting him pregnant all over the world, like at the same time. But the dude is good at football, man. Like, I didn't realize how hurt he was and that they were kind of easing him back in because we didn't hear about him a lot. And I was like, this is the game he's going to go off because he had a pretty good game last week. And I'm like, against his old team, and he did it. He put the team on his back and literally had like 150 yards. And not only that, they were almost all big plays, like 30-yard passes when they need it to get in the red zone. He literally was that entire team last night against the Bills. He outplayed the Bills himself, just one guy. And it's what I felt like watching the game. And I thought that was hilarious and exciting for, a guy that left the Bills and maybe wanted to get a little bit of a revenge factor or have a good game against them.
But the interview that
worked out that way.
The interview that he gave before the game, it didn't sound like he was jaded. It didn't sound like he was angry. It actually sounded like he's kind of matured. He knows that he's on the wrong side of 30. And he said he has a lot of love and a lot of respect for that other team. And you saw other players and coach, they're all going up to him. And it didn't really seem to have any animosity when you looked at the body language. So he's saying, and obviously the first year with Stephon Diggs is always amazing. He's always a great team player that first year.
Well, I mean, you always just have that chip on your shoulder where you want to play good against your old team, right? It just is one of those like DNA things. It's just naturally you get a little bit more focused. And I remember I said he's going to go up to the team and be like, just throw me the damn ball. And dude, like I only watched the game for 10 minutes. And every time I looked up, he was making some amazing, like jaw dropping play. And I was like, wow, like Stephon Diggs can still do that. I'm like, that's crazy. So that was really fun to watch. And kind of that same idea of Sam Darnold, of guys that I think people thought they were like washed up maybe a little bit. He had a 95 QBR against Baker Mayfield. He out Baker Mayfield almost, but the problem is he's going against Baker Mayfield. So Baker Mayfield, even though he had a lower QBR, lower ratings across the board, just barely, and one ended up to Baker Mayfield that game, which means winning it at the last second. So
let's transition into my smart thing, because my smart thing is the Seahawks cutting bait on Geno and signing Sam Darnold, because that looks like an absolutely genius move, which I called this offseason, and I said Geno is trash, and sorry, he's cooked because he's already got 9 interceptions in the first 5 games. It's terrible.
I think he got 9 in one quarter.
Dude. So he had one game against Commanders where he had 3 touchdowns, 0 picks. In the other 4 games, he's got 3 touchdowns and 9 picks. He has been terrible. Where Sam Darnold, as you could see yesterday, yes, the Bucs defense isn't great, but Sam Darnold has been a massive improvement for that offense already. It is clear as day that Sam Darnold was worth the money to bring him in for 3 years. And Seattle gets rid of DK Metcalf so they don't have his contract. They get rid of Geno, get a 3rd-round pick so they don't have his contract. JSN's on a rookie contract. Yes, they signed Cooper Kupp, who's older, but they've got assets and they've got money now. Like, Seattle kind of scares me in the next 2 years, like, because I know their defense didn't look great against the Buccaneers, but it's the Bake Show. It's going to happen. Their defense already looks pretty good this year overall. They were number 1 in points allowed until this
even Cooper Kupp has been making plays. Yeah,
and he's still good. He's just bound to get injured and, in another year or 2 retire.
He's just a reliable guy. I mean, if you want to have a postseason run,
he actually helped out Kenneth Walker quite a bit because he was able to do the Kenneth Walker was able to run on the outside because he can't really run up the gut against Tampa Bay. So they went off of the tackle, and Cooper is pivotal on crushing down on those linebackers to help spring Kenneth Walker. So Walker, if you look at his yards per carry, is pretty fantastic yesterday.
Yeah, and Cooper is a good run blocker, and he has been pretty much his whole career. So, Seattle looks so smart.
Oh, yeah, that Sam Darnold contract was brilliant, too, because they only pretty much guaranteed him this year.
Yeah, exactly.
It looked like they're going to be able to walk next year if it didn't look like it was going to work out, and it's looking pretty good right now.
Do you think they're going to sign him to an extension before the season's over?
We'll see. I mean, probably not until after next year. But, keep this in mind, too, guys. Sam Darnold's, 27, 28? He's still young. He's still not that old. He feels like he should be 33 because he's been in the league forever, but he came in super young, right? After starting 1 year at USC, obviously went to the Jets, then the Panthers, the Vikings, and now Seattle. But, dude, it's 27. He's got a lot of years to grow. And so I think Seattle kind of.
How many quarterbacks do we have right now that revitalize? Baker,
him,
Indiana Jones.
Yep. I mean, you could say Mac Jones just on San
Mac
Francisco
Jones.
a little bit, right? You could say Mac, right?
I mean, that's so rare. Has that ever happened where we had like even one quarterback do it? Like,
yeah, it's pretty rare to see one or two every year. Like Sam Darnold was such a big deal last year. And to be fair, Baker also did it last year, but it's like Baker's, consistently good
right.
now.
But I'm just saying, it almost never happens. It's
it's pretty rare, man. It's pretty rare. So
usually they're just selling insurance or cars by the next year, and it's done.
Yeah,
I'm still waiting to see that Trubisky bounce back, baby.
When is Tim Tebow?
that Justin Fields bounce back that didn't happen this year,
dude. Bears quarterbacks on the other end. Everyone's trying to.
There is one scenario, and it's with Shanahan in San Francisco. If Trubisky goes to San Francisco, I bet he would be like a 10 touchdown, 6 interception guy, which still isn't great. But oh my God, that made me laugh. Okay, Dave, so you already said something dumb, but what is your actual dumb thing for this weekend?
The Arizona Cardinals, ladies.
Oh, yeah.
They were up 21-3 against the everything Tennessee Titans. They cut a buck or something, and they asked whatever the quarterback said. He was right. Tennessee, they're still they try to get some veterans on the team to surround the rookie, but they signed Tyler Lockett. Lockett finally gets his first touchdown of the year, albeit on an interception, it was somebody else caught it, got fumbled, and then Arizona tried to run it back, then they fumbled it, gets kicked into the end zone like Keystone Cops, and then Tyler Lockett falls on it in the end zone. And this is after DeMarcado had that 70-yard touchdown run where he just releases it right before he goes across the line. Yeah, that would have made the game 28-3, and that would have put it out of, just shut everything down. Instead, they blew a 21-3 lead against the Gophers, and every possible way that you can try to lose, they've done it. And they probably thought that they're going to be pretty good this season when they started doing all right. But you have to remember, they beat the Saints 20-13, and they beat the Carolina Panthers 27-22.
And they tried to lose the Carolina game. Carolina tried to lose harder is what happened. Yep. Yeah, like Carolina had every opportunity to win that game and just couldn't figure it out. So, yeah, the Cardinals are who we thought they were. They are who we thought they were. Like,
now they get to go to the Colts next week.
Yeah, they're going to be in most games, and they're going to find a way to lose most games. Like, dude, honestly, Dave, I wouldn't be surprised if they lost to the Colts by like 5 points instead of like 20, like the Raiders did. Like, the Cardinals will find a way to be competitive, but they'll find a way to lose at the same time, So
you finally get Marvin Harrison started in the first quarter. We had 3 catches for 70 yards.
Yeah,
and then he only gets 1 more catch the rest of the way.
Yeah,
just doesn't make any sense. It's poor coaching, poor design, poor game plan.
Yeah, well, I think part of that's Kyler. I think Kyler gets flustered, and I think defenses figure out a way to make Kyler go into situations or go into patterns where he's reading the defenses that, he gets flustered and he can't find his number 1 receivers. Like, and he's had that problem his whole career, not just since Marvin's been there. So, but he'll find McBride. I mean, he finds McBride all the time, so that's kind of his safety net. But
so here's our next 4 games: at the Colts versus Packers, at Cowboys, at Seahawks. I don't see a winning. I see them losing all 4 of those. So
they might sneak one of those out of there, but I bet they lose all 4. Yeah, I could see them losing all 4. Yeah, it's going to be a rough year for them. All right, Hype, what was your dumb thing that you saw this weekend? What was the dumb
that I saw this weekend? First of all, Aaron Glenn, I think literally is the worst football coach in the history of head coaching. Like, he's on the sideline doing like.
You remember Forrest Gregg?
YMCA. Yeah, Forrest Gregg is back too.
We were too young.
He's literally on the sideline doing touchdown celebration dances when they haven't even won. Like, all season long, it's like just getting a first down. He's like celebrating. I'm like, bro, like, I'm sorry, but like, I saw literally someone on TV that's a huge Jets fan in sports media say like he's found a way to make this the worst Jets team ever in history. Somehow he's literally, this Jets team is worse than all of those other Jets teams that were completely terrible. And he's found a way to be even worse. And, in the Lions, he had all these really good players that he was playing with. Yeah. And they did well and everything. But like, I think he has a big ego. He thinks he's way better than he actually is. And also it shows you that head coaching is different than being a defensive coordinator. It's a different level, a different thing. You're in so many places, but like, that's just obviously the Jets are always going to be terrible. So like, that's not that big of a deal. But My really dumb thing is when teams overlook other teams, like the Eagles kind of overlooked the Broncos a little bit, it felt like maybe. Like, you can't just go and play an NFL team and think you're going to win. And look, the Packers do this all the time. Like, oh, we're going to go in and steamroll the Browns. No, you're not going to. You still got to play that game and try to win the dang game.
Yep.
So
be aggressive.
You shout out to the Broncos. I live in Denver, and shout out to the Broncos I thought they were toast. They were down a bunch, like 10, 15 points. I was like, yeah, the game's over already. They're not. And then Bo Nix had the grit to come back, make some plays, and just put the pressure on the Eagles. And that Broncos pass defense, man, like, you know what I mean? Like, you can't overlook these teams. They're NFL players. They get paid just like you do. So, if you want to be a contender in the NFC, especially, you better buckle up because you're going to get the legs chopped out from underneath you by like the 49ers, the Packers. All these teams are around ready, smelling blood in the water.
Well, there's a perfect example right there. You got to be ready if you're the Rams.
Yeah.
You had the Walking Dead, the Niners, and coaching can make a world of difference. That just kicked off.
Unless you're playing the Jets, you don't even have to practice if you're playing the Jets. You'll be fine.
So, all right. So that's kind of what I was going to say is very similar to that being dumb is like first of all, I'll just say the whole Ravens defense. Like, what are you doing? Because the Texans have no offensive line. They don't have a running game. And they brought 40 points on you. Like, what are you doing? I don't understand, but I think Baltimore, dude, my dumb thing is that Baltimore basically screwed themselves out of a playoff position because even if Lamar comes back and all their players come back and they get healthy, like, it's not just that they're losing guys. They are getting smoked. They are getting absolutely dominated by other teams. And mentally, it is really hard to switch that over and become like have a winning mentality. So I think the Ravens basically toasted themselves for the whole season by getting destroyed by the Texans.
You think even when they get, because they are missing a lot of starters, but you think it won't even matter?
I don't think it matters anymore. I honestly think the Ravens will play better by the end of the year, and they'll probably find a way to win 9 or 10 games still. But I don't know if they're going to make the playoffs, and I don't know if they're a threat because I think mentally, like, games like this are going to have, like, obviously getting smoked by the Chiefs last week had a mental effect on them this week because the Texans just did whatever they wanted to the entire game. There was like no pass rush. There was no pass rush. There was no blitzing. It's like they don't even like they
you
don't
can't
even
get pressure on the Texans. That's crazy.
That's what I'm saying.
It's crazy
like,
talk.
CJ Stroud had all day. The Texans were just free and easy with their plays. I mean, it was like a vacation for them. So I hate to say it, but like Harbaugh, a lot of Ravens fans are tired of Harbaugh because he can't beat the Chiefs. It's been a long time since he won that Super Bowl. So maybe it's time for him to go. And, maybe it is time for him to go. But I don't necessarily put this on Harbaugh as much as I was like, what is their defensive coordinator thinking? Like, I don't understand the game plan at all that the Ravens are even doing because, yes, I understand you have injuries and I understand it's difficult, but it doesn't seem like the blitzes are working or they're even happening half of the time. They're still playing way too much man coverage. So,
well, Harbaugh had to come out today and say he's not going to fire his defensive coordinator.
I mean, I think he should. Dude, okay.
Just win by having just an amazing roster because they had Ozzie, back there, and they had amazing players for so long.
I mean, okay, so there's a difference between, let's give Aaron Glenn like some props here last year because he got this job because last year with the completely decimated Detroit Lions defense, that defense at least looked like it was trying. And yes, it gave up a lot of points because they didn't have personnel. The Ravens defense looks like it's lost. Like it looks like it's lost, which tells me that's the coach because I understand next man up mentality is really tough when you're on the 7th man on the roster up instead of like the 2nd or 3rd, like most teams. I understand that's difficult, but fight and drive and understanding of what you're doing on defense is almost more important than talent because defense is a whole structured unit that has to work in unison. And it's a little bit different than offense, which has more skill sets, I feel like, involved in the actual execution, right? And the defense just seems like they gave up. Like, I've never seen a Baltimore Ravens defense look so defeated as I did in this game. And I think it's going to have detrimental effects. So my dumb thing is, yes, the Baltimore Ravens defensive plan was an absolute nightmare.
I think though the Aaron Glenn thing, like he is probably a good like thinking coach, like but motivation wise, I think it's because Dan Campbell's there. Aaron Glenn can do whatever he wants, do whatever, but I think Dan Campbell sets the tone for that gritty team.
It seems like it now.
This year too.
It seems like it now that we've seen what the Jets look like. It seems like,
and the Lions do look really good right now, even though the first game.
Do the Lions look like they've missed the beat? That first game against the Packers, right? When we had all the Micah Parsons hype, they looked a teeny bit off. Do they look any different from last year after week 1? They don't even look a little bit different.
52, 38, 34, 37 is what their offense scored. They've given up 21, 10, and 24 in 3 of the last 4
coordinators gone. They don't look any different than last year. Dan Campbell. If any of us doubted you, I apologize. We get it. It's you, dude. Like we get it.
I think babies in Nigeria know that Dan Campbell is a good coach. Like everybody just knows. Like you turn on the TV and you're like, this Lions team is coached well.
No, like this Lions team like has not lost 1 ounce of what they were last year.
Even before they were winning games, when he first got there, they were still really tough to beat.
Sure.
These next 2 weeks are going to be amazing for them. They have the Chiefs on Sunday night. And then they have the Bake Show on Monday night.
So weirdly enough, I'm going to cheer for them against the Chiefs, so I know they're going to lose that game. And then I'll probably cheer for the Bake Show, and they'll win that one. But it looks like Kansas City's going in for the win here for under 2 minutes. Mahomes will have to get a call at the very least. So, all right. So that was 1 smart and 1 dumb. We all went through that. So let's move on to the next thing, which is Packer Bear talk. Now, we obviously didn't have any Packer or Bear games this weekend, but we've got a lot of stuff coming up. We've got the Bears with the rematch against those Washington Commanders. Jaden Daniels is back. Dave, do the Bears exact any sort of revenge in this game? Do you think they're going to win? Do you think it's going to be close? What are you expecting for the Bears and the Commanders game?
I think that the Bears have been struggling against the run on defense. I think that Krosky Merritt, he's been looking pretty good as of late. And, you know, when he had the dual threat with Jaden, I think it'll be – now, are they going to have their number 1 wide receiver back yet, or is he still going to be out?
Well, what? Yeah, Terry? Scary Terry?
Yeah.
I think he's back, dude. I'm pretty sure he's back next week, but let's find out. Let's find out.
Well, he is on Hype Squad, so I thought that he'd know for sure.
I think that he is. It says that they're optimistic on him returning. Yeah. They say that they're optimistic for him for week 6. He'll probably play, but
he's scheduled to return week 6 for the Bear game is what it says right now.
So that game should be crazy.
He might not play the whole game though.
Well, that's okay because you have Debo.
Yeah, I don't think
they've been utilizing him in the slot pretty well. And it's just hats off to that offensive coordinator. He's been calling a really smart game. You got a balanced run game. Their defense, fortunately for us, is a little bit older. They look good against the hapless Chargers who are injured. But I think Caleb has been showing enough growth. So I think that could very well be a game of the week. There should be a lot of fireworks in that game.
I think the Commanders are a little bit overrated, though. They're one of those teams that like want to be good, but they're not really good.
I mean, I think they're going to win a decent enough amount of games, but I think Dave kind of nailed it with the fact that they're older. Like as the season goes on, that affects older players so much more than it affects younger players, which, you know, to my fears about the Packers, if you actually look at the Packers the last 3 years with this young roster, like since Aaron Rodgers left, so the last 2 years, like weeks 9 through like 17, the Packers have been so much more consistent and so much better because I feel like that younger roster isn't as worn down. So this is another reason why I worry about the Steelers, right? Another reason I worry about the Commanders. And to be fair, sometimes I worry about the Bills as well and their defense at the end of the year because they're 1 or 2 injuries away from being terrible and they're already not great. So yeah, I think the Commanders are still a good team, but I think overrated. I wouldn't necessarily say overrated, but I wouldn't say I'm worried about the Commanders.
Yeah, I think they're a good, not great team because they still have Marshawn Lattimore. He had a decent day yesterday, but he's been burned a lot lately. Bobby Wagner, he used to be one of the best coverage linebackers he had in the league. Now, he's taken a step back. He graded amazing in PFF last year. He had like one of the top 3 grades for
he was
linebackers.
top 3 in for linebackers or something
But
like that.
oh yeah, because he has the brains, but now he's just kind of lost a little step. So he can take care of anything that's in front of him. But if it has to be lateral or stepping back, he's kind of lost a little bit. So hopefully we get Komet back. Hopefully we get our tight ends back just so we can try to take advantage of it. But yeah, schematically, it ought to be a pretty fun game. I like it. I think we should. Yeah, I think it's going to be a good game.
It is really a revenge game because last year that game on the Hail Mary was like
that was like turning the lights off in Chicago. Everyone gave up after that. It seemed
we lost 10 straight after that. And I actually heard an interview that we had with Stevenson, and he said, "Well, I'm owning it." He says that's been a turning point for me. He says I can't get away from it. Everyone's going to be showing it all of the next week. Yeah. That happened to me. I took my focus away from the game. I got distracted by other crap. That's on me. That he said it's uncharacteristic of him. Well, see, he got his butt burned against the Lions.
Yeah.
So he's gotten some chance for humility, and that we've looked a little bit better the last week. The competition's been less.
Yeah.
But I'm sure that the Washington's gonna. Oh, right now the spread's 4.5. Yeah, that sounds about right.
In his defense, I think Stevenson's been a lot better this year. I mean, the sun god burns pretty much everybody. So, I'm not too worried about that, but we'll see, because this is like a statement game for him. If Stevenson makes a good play or something, maybe they go after him to see if it is in his head. Like, if I'm the Commanders, I would maybe go after him to see if he is up for it or not. Do you know what I mean? Because maybe he gives up a big play and then it's all up in his head. Because cornerbacks, you want to attack them if you think anything might be off with them, right? Kind of when Valentine came in last weekend, the Cowboys just went at him again and again and again and again once he was on the field and made a mistake. So that's kind of what you do in this league.
Well, it's some for the Bears to rally around, right? Lock in and be block out the outside world. Let's just play football and win games and prove them wrong.
I mean, especially if they win this next week, right? If they win this next week and they have a winning record that, it can be a rallying cry. And they're like, hey, we have a competent coach now. We have a competent offense now. We can go do this.
After that, the schedule looks promising, because then it's Saints at the Ravens, at the Bengals, and then the Giants. So that could possibly be 4 in a row. So
it's funny how NFC North schedules went from terrible to good because the Bengals and the Ravens.
I think
the Bengals and Ravens fell apart.
Dude, the AFC North is not what we thought it was. Because the Ravens look terrible with Joe Burrow getting hurt. The Bengals aren't scary anymore. That's a huge part of it, right?
Yeah, the toughest schedule in the league now. It might be one of the
easiest. And Browns, thanks for going 1-3 in the NFC North, you jerks. They lost to every team in the NFC North except the Packers. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it. Appreciate you, Cleveland. Whatever, you're cursed. It is what it is. So
they haven't played us yet. That'll be December 14th.
Oh, they'll lose to you. Come on, we already know. They'll lose to you.
Oh, that'll be the week after this. That's the week after we go to Lambeau. So
that your Super Bowl.
We're gonna be lackadaisical after we beat you guys at Lambeau.
Hey, and we'll be at that Lambeau game, Bears Packers. We'll be at that Lambeau game, Bears Packers. I can't wait to freeze my butt off and watch the game. Okay, so let's talk about these Packers against those Bengals, because the Bengals have looked so bad. If the Packers don't win by 20, I'm going to be very upset. And that's a stupid thing to say, because a win is a win. No,
but
it's
this
not.
Is the game that Micah Parsons gets 4 sacks, right? Because their offensive line sucks. They have
the Bengals are such a mess right now. If we don't absolutely smoke them, I'm going to worry about the Packers' mental state, because we've had a week off. And one of the things I've always had a problem with Matt LaFleur is that when we have a week off and we come back, we look like we lost something instead of gained an advantage. Do you know what I'm saying?
Well, we already did another home run weeks, so maybe.
No, Brian Thomas got a big pass down the sideline. 54 seconds to go. Nice. 1st and 10, down by 4.
Go Jaguars! Let's go, buddy. Oh, look at that! Nice catch! Wow, the defender almost picked that off too. Nice catch though. So let's go back to the Packers. Jaguars playing the Chiefs right now, down by 4, 54 seconds left. Go Jags. Let's see if Trevor Lawrence has it in him for a comeback against Mahomes. I'm sure he'd love that. Ooh,
that would be great.
So I need the Packers to go out and dominate on defense for sure.
Didn't you already say that 2 weeks ago?
What?
That you need to see the Packers go out and dominate. How did that turn out for you?
Terrible. And no,
against Dallas.
I'm the one that told you. No. I'm the one that told you that the Packers are going to maybe win by 3 or 4. I was like, it's going to be a close, ugly game. That's what I said.
Oh, okay.
Doug was the one that thought they would win by 45 or whatever it was. So, and to be fair, we should have won that game by 3 or 4 and got that touchdown at the end. But anyway, so no, this is different. Like the Bengals are bad on offense. The Bengals are bad on defense. Like if we don't dominate on both sides of the ball after a bye, that's the other thing about this that's so important to me is like I have been massively disappointed with LaFleur after buys. We have not looked good. He's got a losing record after buys, which
Just
like
sick.
good coaches don't have losing records after buys, guys. They don't. Like if you look at the history of the NFL and all the really good coaches, they do not have losing records after the bye. So I need the Packers to come out and just destroy the Bengals after having 2 weeks off. If we come out and we're flat, like I have serious concerns about the rest of the season because I think LaFleur is already like having a bit of a stinker so far this year. And maybe that's because we started off so strong and then we kind of fell off. But again, I think LaFleur needs to rally the troops here and really make a statement game and get the guys back on track right now, like this week, get back on track and make a play.
Well, yeah. Well, 3 of the next 4 weeks should be blowouts, ideally.
You would think so.
Bengals, Cardinals, Steelers
yeah.
will be meh, and then you got the Panthers.
Well, we should beat the Panthers. I guarantee you Aaron Rodgers is going to beat us. I've already called. I called that like 6 months ago, that as soon as he signed with the Steelers, he was going to come beat us. Just even if the Steelers were 0-7 at that point, he's going to beat us. So I see that happening. But hey, if we go 3-1 in these next couple games and we're 5-3 at that point, it's not ideal, but it still puts us in very good playoff position. And with the craziness of the NFL right now and the erraticness of where random teams win games that they shouldn't and lose games that they shouldn't, just like the Packers have done already, I'm a little less concerned about the Packers' failures than I was like after week 3. So I definitely hope that we can go and take care of business the next couple weeks after the bye. Dude, I was complaining that the bye was so early this year, and I was like, that's not fair. And now I'm like, thank God the bye. Like, I'm so glad we got the bye this week because like we needed a mental reset, I think, after that game against the Cowboys. So, and then the Packers and Bears are playing each other again. What are we playing each other again, Dave? When's our next Packer Bear game?
Oh, it's not until December.
Oh, so that we're going to the first Packer Bear game. That's right. Because then we're at the Bears after that. So it's Bears, Packers at Broncos, then Packers.
It'll be the
Bears.
first episode of Offensive on location.
Yeah, on location, streaming live from Lambeau Field. We're going to try to get on the field. No one's going to let us.
Yeah, well, we should be on the field and be like, we're here at Lambeau Field, and it like pans out.
I'm just going to blame it on Dave that they won't let us on the field because he's a Chiefs fan. That's all I'm going to do. But no, I'm excited. I'm excited to go see that Packer Bear game. But I think for both of our teams, these next 4 weeks are going to be huge because if the Bears do win 3 of the next 4 or the next 4, they're a serious playoff contender. And if they end up going like 1-3 against not so good competition, then you have your concerns about Caleb again. Same thing with the Packers. If the Packers go 2-2 or 1-3 somehow in these games, I think the season is completely turned on its head. So I'm really excited to see what happens.
We have an X factor here with the Packers. So Christian Watson's coming back. He practiced today.
Dave, was that pass interference on that?
I believe that should be
because it was terrible. Like he hit the guy.
There you go.
Yeah.
In the end,
that was the right call.
Interference. 30 seconds to go.
That was the right call. I mean,
the
defender
first and goal at the 1. Give it to ETN. Damn it! I can't.
No, the question is, Dave, how did the Jaguars not win this game? That's the question.
Hopefully, Trevor doesn't try to do this again and get it knocked out at the 1 inch
because
line.
it's the Chiefs. Like again, I'm surprised they called that pass interference. That was blatantly bad. Like he had both of his arms wrapped up. Yeah, that was blatantly bad.
Don't try to pass us.
But did I call it, Dave?
Oh,
did they fumble?
You have no idea.
Is it an interception for a touchdown?
Wait for it.
Okay, here we go. I told you they were going to lose. I told you. Oh my gosh. No, Trevor, don't. Trevor, don't. Oh my gosh, Trevor. Oh my gosh, Trevor. Whoa. Hey. That was the ugliest touchdown I've ever seen in my life. And it's not just the stumble when he fell over. When he was running around the tackle, I swear like one of his legs was made of wood. Like, what was that?
Oh, yeah, nothing
Oh,
about
there's a
that
flag. It's holding. It's holding.
on the Chiefs.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Nice. Okay, 23 seconds left. How do they lose now, Dave? How do they lose now? So if you guys are watching this tomorrow and you saw that Trevor Lawrence, we'll call that a bootleg. We should call that a wooden leg because
Well,
that's what that was.
That's like what Jared Goff did against the Bears last year, right? Where he faked faked
It looks like he was running through swamp water, yet somehow nobody could catch him. Yeah, dude, seriously.
But yeah, so that I've seen that play before, unfortunately, in the Bears. Yeah.
Hey, there's still 1:22 on the clock. No, 23. Never mind.
Oh no, 23
there's
seconds.
23 seconds. That's why I'm like, how do they find a way to lose this game? But no, good job, Trevor Lawrence. And meanwhile, the Cubs are losing by 4 runs. Okay, so guys, let's say because I'm a Cubs fan, these two are Brewers fans, which I know it's weird. Dave's a Bear fan and a
He
Packer
tripped. He
and
fell down.
I used to be a Bear. I used to be a Bear and a Cub and a Bull fan.
Yeah.
And then we were roommates, and then I'm like, okay, nope. If you're a Cub fan, I'm going to Bears Brewers all the way.
Yeah. No, and I honestly, so we're old enough to where the Cubs and Brewers were in different conferences. So I was a Brewer and Cubs fan because living in southern Wisconsin,
you would go to
games
both
and Brewers games. Yeah, exactly. We would go to both stadiums. We went to Wrigley. We went to County Stadium. So I liked both teams, but when they eventually moved the Brewers over to the National League, I think I just realized that I like the Cubs a little bit more. So I'm a Cubs fan. But I don't hate the Brewers like most Cubs fans do. Generally, if the Brewers win this series, like I want the Brewers to win a World Series because they've never won one, and I'd really like to see that. And yes, there are rivals, but dude, I'm still a Wisconsin kid. Like I would like to see the Brewers win a World Series.
They are going to. That's exactly why.
I hope so, because if you beat the Cubs and then get smoked by the Dodgers, I'm going to be really upset.
You guys realize that the Brewers were pretty much the best team in baseball this year.
They were the best team in baseball.
Yeah.
They had the best record.
Much they were, yeah.
And it wasn't just luck of records. If you look at their actual offense and defense in the second half, they were like in the top 2 or 3 in like every category.
No,
like,
they really were.
They're across the board. They're just good at everything.
And they, to be fair, like not to like make this a Cubs thing again, but they kind of remind me of the 2016 Cubs where they play excellent defense.
Yes.
Right. And they just put the bat on the ball. They don't strike out a ton. They get on base. They kind of play a bit of old school baseball, which I really like. I like teams that play defense. I love defense. So like I like it when teams play defense, and I really like the way the Brewers have constructed this roster. Everyone knew they were going to play defense and pitch. Nobody knew they were going to hit like this. That's, I think, what surprised everybody is they actually can hit.
That was just nuts.
Yeah. No, the Brewers like can hit, man. They are not just putting the bat on the ball. Like they got good hitters and like not
and the
just
thing is, the Andrew Vaughn trade was great. He's been one of the best players in baseball since the trade. He just hit a home run in this game.
Yeah.
But like the thing that people don't realize is the Brewers are actually at the top of the game for their farm league and their development. All the other teams in Major League Baseball are trying to copy them. They have like secret labs. They're like Heisenberg. They have like a lab down in Arizona where they take their pitchers and reconstruct their pitchers, and they come out looking better. And everyone's like, "What are they doing behind?"
What do they put Bears hats on them or something?
Dude, I will say that the Tampa Bay Rays, the Dodgers and the Brewers know how to make a pitcher. Like they do. And the Cubs don't. The Cubs do not know how to get a pitcher in a farm system. Like hitters, yes, but we cannot bring a pitcher up through the farm system to save our life. And the Brewers, the Tampa Bay Rays, and the Dodgers just figured it out. The
Brewers have the number 1 or 2 farm system in the league, according to the latest.
Yeah, but it's like they keep producing pitchers, dude, and it's like it's unbelievable. It's amazing. Like hitting for the last 5 years has been their problem, right? And so now that they're hitting, they are a very, very dangerous team.
And the thing is, there's nobody on their team that's a superstar. They don't have a guy jacking 60 home runs. They have all these guys that are could be an all-star in some seasons.
Well, really. Yelich, I think, is on a little bit lower than what he used to be. But you could say Yelich is like an all-star, but like he's not even the
best player on the team.
No, I wouldn't. I'd say he's not either. Absolutely not.
If you look at their stats, their WAR, none of them are an all-star. Maybe one pitcher is.
But as a team, though, like that's the thing is like. The teams that win World Series, like, dude, Aaron Judge has his troubles. He's still not doing much. Relying on superstars to win in baseball is a lot different than any other sport.
So every single player on the Brewers is good. Like all they're all like a 1 or 2 WAR above full replacement. They all grade as like a starter, but I don't know what it is, man. They all just win games.
No, I'm actually really impressed. And dude, like the other thing I love about baseball is that like like if you actually look at like so they give out an award for like the playoff MVP, not the World Series. So like up until the World Series, right? You get an MVP for like the best playoff player. It's almost never a superstar. Like it is sometimes, but it's almost always like your backup second baseman that you had no idea was any good, and he gets 15 hits in the offseason, right? So like that's another fun thing about baseball is that like random guys show up in the postseason and just like make names for themselves, you know, in that short period of time. So yeah, I'm actually really excited to see.
It's so situational. Like you know, we just saw that the Cubs scored 3 runs, and you're like, oh man, they have all the momentum now. The Brewers had 2 outs. Full count, hit a 3-run dinger, Andrew Vaughn does, and you're just like, what? How can you write this stuff even crazier than it's going? It's just like so storytelling wise, just completely insane.
So the Brewers have set so many records with like the amount of wins they had in like July, or like come from behind, or total runs scored. Like it's been nuts, which is why I'm saying like they better not lose to the Dodgers, because I'll be really mad if the Dodgers go and win another World Series and like take this team down. They got to go beat the Dodgers, man, because they're taking it to the Cubs right now.
Well,
like I thought this was going to be a 5-game series, and like, you know, one team would pull it out in Game 5. I think the Brewers are going to sweep them. Like they look really, really good. I think the Brewers might.
This is the thing, is that like baseball often comes to these moments of intangibles. Like, oh, you got a guy on first and you're down, but like if you can get him to second somehow and then get a hit, like the tide turns, right? You change momentum. The Brewers are amazing at doing that. Like there's so many ways of defense, base running, situational stuff, making good decisions, pitching, where you can just turn the momentum a bit. And the Brewers do, I mean, that's how they won. They literally almost set a records for wins in like the month of August and I think July. Like all time. They were close to that, which is completely mind-boggling. Because everyone had them as like a last place or close to last place team.
I think most people had them finish in 3rd in the division.
Right, but like down there, close enough to like they weren't going to compete at all.
Like maybe make the playoffs, maybe not make the playoffs kind of team is what I think a lot of people had them at. Mostly out because teams like the Mets should have made it, right? Or like maybe.
But you saw how the Brewers started the season. They started the season 3rd place and looking bad. They were like behind like 10 games to the Cubs or something right away, like the first month.
No, dude, I really like the Brewers team and how they're constructed. I really do.
Okay. The football game just ended. The Jags are 4-1, tied with the Colts. The Chiefs are now 2-3. They're 3rd in their division.
Yeah.
Who do you guys like in the South, and who do you guys like in the West?
Can we just admit the AFC South's the best division in football?
How the hell did this happen? Their defense,
the Texans just beat the crap out of the Ravens. They're 2-3, and they could still think about it. The Texans could still make the playoffs. Like it's very plausible the Texans could make the playoffs. What if the AFC South has 3 playoff teams, and there's only one from like the AFC West, and like one from the North and one from the East? Wouldn't that be crazy if like a bunch came out of the AFC South? I could see that happening.
Didn't they all win this weekend?
Yeah. Yep, the Titans
the
won.
Titans, the Texans, the Jags, and the Colts. When's
the
last time that happened?
Oh man,
it's been
1998.
McNair.
Yeah, it's got to be a long time.
They're the only division. I mean, the NFC North won all their games, but the Packers didn't play. But the NFC South also did actually win.
I mean, I'm just glad we played the AFC South last year and not this year, because they were terrible last year and they looked pretty good, right?
With that one,
yeah, dude, we definitely dodged the
Imagine.
And like now we're playing the AFC North, which we thought was dangerous, and they stink. The AFC North stinks.
Imagine the Texans offense goes in a roll and keeps playing that well. Their division is going to be crazy.
That's what I'm saying. The AFC South could be super dangerous, dude. Because I'll tell you right now, I'm fully on the Colts are legit. Like after watching them boat race the Raiders, I was like, okay, that's what good teams do. You're a good team. The Jaguars just beat the Chiefs, who are not the same Chiefs. Don't get me wrong, but 2 years ago, the Jaguars find a way to lose this game. Today, they found a way to win. Do you know what I mean? Like that's what you got to do.
They were down 14-0.
Yeah,
in the second quarter.
Second quarter, exactly. So like, respect.
Trevor falls on his butt.
Dude, what a play! That's got to be my favorite play of the season so far, no doubt. That is my favorite play.
Oh my god!
He trips. Ridiculous. He gets up, trips again. Then he gets around. Then he almost gets tackled. Then and then he just good job, Trevor.
The question is like, who's going to make the playoffs? Are the Patriots going to make the playoffs in the AFC?
I mean, there's a chance. I think the Patriots. have looked good the last 2 weeks, but I'm still a little tentative on their offense because their run game hasn't been great, and the Bills defense
7, right?
Well,
and the Bills defense is not great.
They just lost Gibson for the season, right?
Yeah. So I don't know about the Patriots yet.
Well, who makes the playoffs? It's the Bills, I guess.
The Bills, the Colts, the Jaguars, right, are going to make it. Let's just say the Steelers make it because, like, that's the story. So that's 4. Okay. Then, let's say the Texans make it. Maybe the Chargers or the Broncos make it. So that's 6. And then the Patriots. Yeah. Oh, the Chiefs are definitely going to make it, right?
The Chiefs are right. They're 10th right now in the playoff rankings.
Yeah, but they're going to make it. They're going to find a way. So, like, let's say Bills.
Once they get Rice back.
Yeah. Bills, Chiefs, Jaguars, Colts. Let's say Steelers is 5. And then maybe Chargers or Broncos, or, you could have the Texans in there.
I mean, it's wide open right now because, right now the top 7, the number 7 is the Patriots at 3-2, and I mean, it's early in the season, right?
Sure.
So and the Jaguars could take a dive if possibly or whatever also.
Dude, the Jags defense has been decent. That's the thing that surprised me the most is, like, when Cohen came in, I was like, okay, their offense is going to be fine, but the defense has been a lot better.
But think about the Chargers, Jaguars, and Patriots. All 3 of those teams could easily not make the playoffs.
Yeah, I agree. Anything can happen. It's only week 5, guys. But man, what a fun start!
Jaguars, Broncos, Patriots. None of those positions are set in stone.
No,
even the Broncos could take a dive. They're up and down all the time.
Yeah, I think the only thing we can say for sure is the Raiders are garbage, hot garbage. Yep. The Browns are hot garbage. The Jets are steaming hot garbage, and the Ravens might just be too late to fix it. Like, because with Lamar's injury. Like, I don't know if they can come back if they're 2-6. Do you know what I mean? Or like 1-5 or whatever it might be. Like, their schedule
schedule's not
that bad. But if you're 1-5 or 1-6, like, you're playing bad at other things, let alone not having your quarterback. But I don't think they're going to win 9 or 10 games in a row. I just don't see that happening. Not with
the schedule. They could make it back in the playoffs because there's those other teams could take it out. But they're playing the Rams, the Bears. But the things after the Rams, they have the Bears, Miami, Minnesota, Cleveland, the Jets, Cincinnati, Pittsburgh, Cincinnati. There's a lot of chances in there.
Yeah, if they win all their division games, again, there's a chance they can win their division because I still think Pittsburgh is capped out at like 9 or 10 wins, even though they're 3-1.
Brewers are going to score again.
So, yeah, Brewers got this game bottom of the 6th up by 4.
They just won't go away. You just let them bunt on or do something and like.
Right. Well, and the Brewers
made an error.
Oh, is that what it was?
He threw to first or to second base and missed him.
Oh, and that's
Dansby, errors all the time too.
He's so good too. That's crazy for him to do that.
He missed the second base guy.
Yeah.
I think it's just the pressure of being like we have to play so hard to win. And
actually, that wasn't a bad throw. The guy missed it. If you watch it from the other replay, like it goes like this under his glove. I don't think that was a bad throw.
This is the reason I think the Brewers could win the World Series. They just play loose. They don't make mistakes. They just play like it's like whatever. They're not, you know what I mean? They're not in their own head. They just eat their pocket pancakes and they're like, it's cool.
Yeah. If any Chiefs fan complains about that pass interference, like I will get upset because that was so bad. That pass interference was the absolute right call. It was such a bad. Oh my gosh. The fact that he falls twice, gets up, breaks the tackle, and then whoop. That's the play of the year, Trevor Lawrence. That is right now the play of the year. That is so good.
He's been hitting good this year.
All right.
It's a beautiful time of the year. We got hockey starting up again.
And basketball too.
And basketball starting
up again.
It feels like fall in Arizona. It takes a while, but it finally feels like fall here. I know it feels like winter already, Dave, where you are. And Denver never changes
because colors here. It's very fall.
Oh,
but Denver's always the same temperature because it was built by Satan. Bye.